Boom, Likkle Uma back again with another video. As you can see by the title, you know what today's video is about. Welcome back to my second episode of the Likkle Perspective, featuring the one and only KabilsGrillz.
Come on.
How are you, my bro?
Alhamdulillah, good man.
Alhamdulillah.
Good.
Podcast ready?
Ready for
Have
it.
you done any podcasts before?
Yeah, I did one before with Entrepreneur Club.
Entrepreneur. So what was that like?
It was good.
This is the second podcast, my second episode, your second podcast.
Banger.
So, what influenced you to become a jeweler? I think the fans need to know.
So really, you know what? It was like one of them ones, innit? I always liked jewelry as a kid.
Yeah.
So as a kid, always was making, like I always bought, like, okay.
So without further ado, let's just start off with a bang. What influenced you to become a jeweler?
So, you know, when I was younger, I used to always love jewelry. So that was my passion. I had two passions when I was a kid. Boxing was one of them because I used to box. Second passion was jewelry. I love jewelry, bro.
So what went on with the boxing?
Boxing, I stopped, like about 6-7 years ago. I stopped boxing.
Would have been Kabil the boxer.
Would have
been Kabil the boxer.
That's, the maddest thing. That's why I called KabilsGrillz Kabil. Because everyone knew me as a boxer anyways.
No way.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a marketing thing. Because if people knew I started grills, they would have just supported my thing.
Yeah.
Because it was me in it. And a lot of people knew me through boxing.
Yeah, bang on.
But with the jewelry, I start making pieces myself just because it was cheaper to make pieces instead of buying it from the shops.
Yeah, literally.
And when I made one chain, when I went out, all the boys like, yo, where you got that from?
You're there like, yo, I made it.
Yeah.
Yo, that's mad still.
And that's how it came. So people start paying me like, yo, make me one, make me one. And then from jewelry, I slowly got into the grills.
But then so from there, what would you say was the most influential impact on you in that time period?
I tell you straight, it was probably the London jewelers.
Yeah.
When I seen them, the amount of shit they be doing, and how creative they got with the jewelry.
Yeah.
That got me into it even more because
gave you more of a passion.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, these lot started like me, you get me? So, but they're making proper art pieces. Pieces that you see like in like big boy shops. You're like, yo, that's a good piece, innit? And they're making it all by hand themselves as well. So. That, when I seen that happen, I thought, I can easily do that shit as well.
So here in KabilsGrillz, your shop, you're obviously making all the pieces yourself, innit?
Yeah. No, we got a team, so we got me, a few other people that make the jewelry and grills, and then we're just slowly expanding now.
Yeah. So obviously that's good for the customers as well. At least they know that you're physically making their pieces. You're not getting next one to do it.
We don't.
So everything gets done here, innit?
Everything done. Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next question. What do people misunderstand about you the most?
A lot of people, they probably, people don't, honestly, people think I do this 24 hours of my life. They don't leave me alone, bro. They be calling me, I just told you, they're calling me 3 o'clock in the morning. Say, yo, come on, I need to get involved in it. Alhamdulillah, it's good, you get me, it's good. You get me, it's a way to connect with people as well. So I'll be connected with so many different people, bro, that I would never ever meet in my life. So alhamdulillah, in that sense, you know what? It's nothing that are really misunderstanding, but it's like a lot of people think that all I do is grill. Yeah. So
obviously behind the cameras and behind everyone's got their own lives to live.
Got another life to live as well. But also we do a lot of jewelry as well, innit? So people don't think that we do jewelry.
They just think you do grills, innit? Because obviously the brand.
Yeah, because of the name. Yeah. So we do a lot of jewelry, wedding rings. Or basically anything with piece of jewelry, we can do it.
So on to the next question. Growing up in this field, what was your biggest failure and how did you learn from it?
I tell you, the biggest failure was grills. When I first got into grills was the most headache business.
No, that was a straight up answer,
biggest failure, bro.
No
we got
way.
into grills, it took me about 6-7 months to understand it.
What was the
fitting and everything was all fucked, bro. From the beginning, I always say to people that get into grills, because a lot of other grill companies come to me, try to see if I can guide them on the way. Always say to them, don't do it if you don't have a passion for it. Because one thing, I had a passion to make stuff, and that what people enjoyed, was personal to them. Like, for example, anyone can make a chain in it, but anyone can wear a chain. But if I make you a pair of grills, only you can wear them. It's not like your boys are gonna come to you and say,
only one mold in it.
The boys can't come to you and say, bro, let me wear that for a night out. No one can bother that, you get me? Like a watch, anyone can bother your watch.
But
anyone
the grill is specific thing.
Yeah, it's such a personal thing. I know people that get grills off us, and if they lose them, they have to get it back straight away because they'll be wearing it all day, every day. Yeah, it's so personal to them. So Yeah, our biggest thing was when we got into grills, because jewelry was doing well anyways. I was selling a lot of jewelry, making a lot of jewelry. But when we got into grills, that's when it was like, okay, it's a massive challenge. But then, alhamdulillah, we overcome it because there's this passion that overcome it. Because we knew if we enjoy it and we got a passion for it, yeah, we could overcome all the issues. And then we did overcome all the issues.
As long as you're dedicated to one thing,
Yeah.
whatever comes in the way, you'll overcome it straight.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
What's an insult you have received but you're proud of?
I tell you, this is a class of the insult because the guy wasn't happy with. But a guy came to me. I swear I can't even lie. I'm not even making this shit up. A guy come to me. He goes, "You have made the grill too perfect."
Too perfect.
That was his complaint.
He wasn't happy with it.
He didn't want it too perfect. He wanted more like you know how you see like American grills that have a bit of dents, a bit of scratches.
What the hell?
He wanted that like a proper gully look in it. So when he came to me, I goes, what's wrong? He goes, bro, it fits perfect. It looks perfect. Everything's perfect, but it's too perfect. And then I goes, bro, that's obviously we can change whatever you want to do. But I said that's the maddest complaint I've heard. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one thing to be proud of. So growing up, obviously everyone's had numerous jobs growing up. What would be your least favorite job growing up, or like to this day maybe?
So my least favorite, I was working in warehouses. I hated it.
Everyone knows about the warehouse, Grant.
The agency, I went with the agency, so every week I was in different warehouses.
That's literally every weekend.
Different warehouses.
Tell you come in one day, next day tell you say.
Bro, trust me. When I was in these warehouses, it's like I was thinking that I gotta do my own stuff, bro. That's when the passion come, you know, because you can't really have passion if you enjoy the life you're in now.
Yeah.
So passion only can come when you're going through hardship. So you're doing something you don't like.
Yeah, like if you're grafting on the house that you don't like, you're gonna get all the ideas in your head.
But if you're doing something you like already and it's all right for you, but you still like it a little bit, you're not gonna go off to do your own thing or anything because you're content with that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You know, like or people that work in warehouses and that. Yeah, just remember, if you don't like it and you don't enjoy what you do, something better will come along because you're gonna make something better come along, innit?
Wise words, man.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Tell me about 3 influential people in your life that have impacted it.
I'll say obviously one person has to be Johnny Dan, the American jeweler. He's like big in the thing. The other person I'll say it has to be my mom, you know, because she's always bought, you know how Asian parents are always buying jewelry, innit? So as a kid, I've been seeing loads of jewelry. I just had a straight love for jewelry when I first seen it. And the third, you know what? There's probably like not a third person, you know, when it comes to like specific people, but branding. One brand that I rate the most is obviously like Jacob & Co. Because he started like a jeweler as well. And now he's made one of the biggest watch brands in the world, isn't it? And he never started like over a big brand. He grew from a small brand to one of the biggest in the world. So he's another one as well. And what we do, the most important thing is trust. People gotta trust us. You get me? Like you have to gain the customer's trust. You have to gain the trust. No, but even what you're selling, they don't know actually what they're having because when you got diamonds, there's so many different clarities and so much different shades. Sometimes you know, like when we first started, like a lot of people didn't know the brand in it, so they didn't know who I was. Even when we first started, so people like, how can we trust you? And I was so like upfront. I'll be like showing people receipts and go, look, this is how much I paid for diamonds. This is what the diamonds are, and this is what I'm putting in your grill. Like I was open, like an open book. Even to this day, I'm a full open book.
That's how you have to be.
I was a straight open book. I would tell people as well, this is how much I'm making, bro. So obviously it's not like I'm getting rich.
You're making drink up
it's not like I'm getting rich from it. Like people, even like when I first started, like, people seen the profit and they were like, you know what, that's a fair profit. He's not asking for too much for what he's doing. You get me? So it's all about trust, and the way to gain people's trust is always be truthful. That's it, and that's clear cut with anything in life. Like whatever you do, if you own a corner shop, even if you're like a big business owner, or even if you work for another company, people will only come to you if they can trust you. And that's one thing.
100%.
One thing as a good person, even a good Muslim, that you always got to be truthful in anything you do, especially when it comes to dealing with money. And when you're dealing with money, you have more blessings on the money when you be truthful to people. That's one thing really clear cut. We just tell it how it is. Like if they don't like it, we always say you can also go somewhere else. But alhamdulillah, most of the time people always just stick with us because no other jeweler will be that truthful. No other jewelers, because they keep a lot of stuff hidden. A lot of them don't even make their own shit. So
literally.
a lot
But
of them-
as you know, here everything gets made here by the man Kabil and his team. So if you are interested, just drop him a message, and obviously you can get to work. So what's one piece of advice you would give to someone starting in the same pathway or career as you?
Yeah, it's simple. The consistency and love for the business.
Same thing as passion, basically, innit?
Yeah, same thing. So consistent and love for the business, and also you can't be like, you have to have a bit of knowledge about it. You can't be like just go into something that you don't have any knowledge about.
That's with anything, to be honest. You have to have enough,
enough
knowledge of it.
You have to study it. You have to be a student of the trade, innit?
Yeah.
And the best way to do it is obviously like read books, watch videos, and also meet people that do it as well.
Basically, whatever you put in is what you get out. Basically.
Yeah. It works with anything. This is not our only business that we ever started. This is probably my 10th business I started. So I started many businesses that done well and also failed. And the one thing I learned from them businesses is that preparation, having the right preparation, always helps. So when you're prepared for like any fuck ups or anything to do with like something not going right, if you're prepared for it, it makes life a lot easier. But if you don't have preparation and you just go straight into it, hit in your face. You like a lot of people can take you can take a big L, especially in jewelry. You can get wiped off by one order if you don't do the order properly and don't price the order properly. Like you could do, for example, I'll give you an example. You could take an order on for 30 grand for just a diamond VVS pendant. Take on for 30 grand. If you never done your proper calculations and your full work on that order, this order can cost you 60 grand and you just wipe yourself out, bro. Like you just wiped yourself for 30 grand, and that's probably what you're gonna be making in the year, and you probably won't carry on doing jewelry. So it's always be prepared and do your calculations and always risk management and all that. You have to do it. You have to. The business trade, one wrong order can wipe you out. But yeah.
Take notes, lads, man. So what's one thing you've learned over your career?
One thing I learned.
Well, not one. What's the most important thing you've learned?
Obviously,
I learned it down to one.
Well, the most important thing is understanding that I can't do everything. That you have to create a team, and the team has to enjoy the working environment that we have, and that's how you become really successful. And sometimes you gotta take a bit of a cut out of your pay to create a team. Sometimes it's good to see all the money come in, but if you don't create a team and create a proper production line and stuff like that, you're just a worker for yourself. Basically, you just have a job to do. But when you have a team that does everything, that's when you have a proper business, and you can expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes you got to take a bit of a pay cut to do that. You're not going to do that and still be making the same amount of money. So sometimes it's best to reinvest a lot of money back into the business.
This is the last question of the podcast. I hope you all enjoyed the video so far. If you have, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. But the last question is, if you wasn't a jeweler, what occupation would you see yourself in?
If I wasn't a jeweler, I told myself, if I wasn't doing jewelry, I'll probably do clothing.
I thought you would have said boxing, because what you said before.
Oh yeah, boxing failed for me. That failed for me, bro.
You're gonna elaborate.
Go back into it. Alhamdulillah, you know one thing, I was a good boxer.
Yeah.
But one thing, I 100% believe whatever's written will come to you. Because I never had, when I was growing up, I would never think that I would be a jeweler. Never in my life thought I was going to be a jeweler. Always had it in my head that I'm going to be a boxer or some other type of businessman. Yeah. Just a businessman.
You just didn't.
I just didn't know what it was. Jewelry just come as basically like a bit of passion what I had that I just needed to release. I needed to know how it is to make something like that. You get me? And that it became a business. But if I wasn't doing jewelry, I always say I would be doing clothing, because clothing is right now one of the biggest industries to get to. And secondly, there's so many things that hasn't been done with clothing. You get me? It's the same designs, that people are making the same designs. There's a blueprint of the same designs on the same jacket.
Just copies and copies, basically.
Like there needs to be like innovation in it, and that's one thing that's missing in clothing. So I'll probably be doing clothing. if I wasn't doing jewelry.
There'll be some KabilsGrillz clothing soon, lads. Make sure to stay tuned.
Some hats.
Comment down below who you want to see in the next episode. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You got any last words? Or?
Nah, that's it really. Just obviously we're posted in Birmingham Jewelry Co at 50 Vice Street. So make sure you come down if you want some grills and jewelry.